It was a flippant comment, careless, impulsive, tossed out like a feather on the wind. I didn't mean for it to carry any weight. Truly I didn't. It wasn't meant to wound or linger. Just one of those breezy, cheeky little quips you make when you're in a playful mood, maybe feeling a bit mischievous, trying to stir a smile. But that night, those 7 offhand words hit like a wrecking ball. With one stray sentence, I cracked the foundation of my marriage and scattered the pieces of a life I'd spent years building. Everything unraveled, and it started on an ordinary, crisp Friday evening. My best friend Emily had just come out of a gut-wrenching breakup. Her apartment had turned into a tomb of memories she couldn't escape, and she needed out, desperately. So she texted our group last minute. Girls' night. Dinner at that cozy little bistro on 5th, cocktails at our favorite rooftop bar, maybe even a little dancing to remind ourselves we were still young, still alive. It sounded like the kind of evening that wraps around you like a velvet shawl, comforting, familiar, just wild enough to make you feel human again. It had been so long since I let myself enjoy something like that. Maybe a year, maybe longer. Between work, laundry, obligations, and the unspoken distance that had crept between Nathan and me, I couldn't remember the last time I dressed up for myself. That night I did. I pulled on my sleek black jeans, the ones that still hugged me in all the right places. I dusted off a pair of heels buried in the back of my closet. And I swiped on a deep red lipstick. Bold, unapologetic. Nothing extravagant, but enough to feel like I was waking up from something. When I stepped out of the bedroom, Nathan was lounging on the couch, scrolling his phone absent-mindedly. He looked up, and in that brief glance something shifted. His eyes lingered just a second longer than usual. A faint smile tugged at the corner of his mouth. "Wow," he said, tilting his head. "Someone's looking fancy tonight." Then teasing, "Who are you all dolled up for?" It was meant to be a harmless remark, a flirtation in disguise. But I, in my giddy, wine-softened anticipation of the night ahead, didn't answer with affection. I didn't even pause to consider the weight of what I was about to say. I just grinned, winked, and threw out the line like it was nothing. "Oh, in case I meet someone better." And just like that, everything changed. For a split second I saw it, the flicker across his face. Not shock, not anger. Something quieter. Something brittle. His smile faded, his eyes cooled. He gave a short nod and turned his gaze back to his screen. "Right," he said. "Just that. I should have caught it then. Should have laughed and said, 'You, babe. Obviously you.' I should have seen the way his body subtly pulled away from mine. But I didn't. My phone buzzed. Emily was outside waiting, and I let the moment slip through my fingers. I kissed his cheek, light and quick, and darted out the door, completely unaware of the storm I'd just set into motion. The night was everything I needed. Music that pulsed through the soles of my feet, mojitos that went down far too easily, and laughter so loud it felt like it could stitch up every frayed edge inside me. For a few hours I wasn't a wife, a coworker, or a weary adult. I was just me, free and light. I barely checked my phone, only sending Nathan a quick text around 11:30. "Be home by midnight." He didn't respond. When I got back, the silence in the house felt unnatural, dense and echoing. I figured he was asleep, annoyed maybe, but not unreachable. I slipped off my heels and tiptoed to our bedroom, already imagining the conversation we'd have the next morning, maybe a playful apology, maybe something more intimate. But the room was wrong. The bed was untouched. His nightstand was cleared. And the closet, half empty. His clothes were gone. My heart dropped, and I stood there frozen, trying to understand. Then I saw it. A small ivory envelope on my pillow. Inside was a single note in Nathan's steady, unmistakable handwriting. Short. Final. "If you're looking for someone better, I won't stand in your way. Divorce papers are coming tomorrow. I hope you find what you're after. Nathan." I sank to the floor, the paper trembling in my hands, reading the words over and over as if they'd rearrange into something softer, something forgivable. They didn't. Called. Straight to voicemail. The next morning I drove to his brother's house. He was there, I knew it, but he refused to come out. Refused to talk to me. Days later, his lawyer contacted me. The divorce process had begun. No conversation. No explanation. Just a door slammed shut. All because of one careless joke. Or so I told myself. But in the quiet that followed, I couldn't stop dissecting it. Turning it over. Was it really just the joke? Or was it everything that came before it? The truth is, I'd been drifting for a while. Exhausted, emotionally scattered. I used sarcasm to mask the disconnect I didn't know how to talk about. I buried myself in work. Tuned out. And Nathan. Maybe he'd already started to wonder if I was still in this with him. Maybe that one line wasn't just a joke to him. Maybe it was the confirmation of everything he'd feared but never voiced. And when I said those words, I gave him permission to believe the worst. It's been nearly a year. And I still glance at the driveway some mornings, half hoping I'll see his old pickup there. I still wake up sometimes reaching for him. I still wonder, does he think of me? Does he ever wish I'd said something different? Because I never wanted someone better. I never even looked. I just wanted him to look at me like he used to, like I was still his world. But life doesn't hand out rewrites. Not for the moments we don't mean. Not for the words we throw like darts in jest. I've learned something painful but true. Words don't need to be intentional to cut deep. And sometimes the person you love most won't wait around for you to take them back.